Hey guys, welcome back to another TA video. I'll be going over some names I'm currently looking at for the next coming days or weeks, and we're gonna get right into it. So first off is gonna be the Mag7 ETF, and I just want to show you guys this ETF first off because this is the bigger picture, right? This ETF tracks the big seven that normally carries the market or normally the tech, right? So if we look on the 4-hour or even on the daily time frame, we see a clear pennant forming on the daily and 4-hour. And we're gonna do our touches. So our first touch here, this is acting as support, acting as support here, acting as support, acting as support, active. You guys get the fucking point, right? But look, we're starting to see price coil up, and what's gonna happen when price breaks out or even breaks down, right? So that's what I'm currently looking at for Mag7 ETF. Just definitely keep an eye on this ETF because a big move is going to happen, right? So we could keep it simple below 64.5. We could see a breakdown. But if we see a break above 65.5, we can see a breakout back up to 66 or even just, form a new leg. So I'm going to do what I always do is we'll do the technical target. And the technical target, if we do break above 65.5 or whatever, it's going to be $68. So guys, this can mean that there's a lot more gas in the tank with Qs or tech in general, or we just see a correction and we break down from this pennant, right? But this just shows a better picture of what could happen for the next coming weeks. Okay, so this is pretty much simple game plan for Mags, just a bigger picture and what to look at, and we're gonna get to the next name, which is Tesla. Okay, so Tesla. This is a bit better picture on the 4-hour. Okay, so this is kind of ugly, but if you guys see here, I'm gonna delete this drawing because that's okay. Okay, guys. So right now Tesla bounced that previous support, which is at 428, and then we're gonna do the same lines again. So we have our resistance here, support here, support here. You can even say support here, again support here, and look what's happening, support here. Okay, so not only this is retesting its previous resistance and support, we're actually forming a potential bottom signal on the 4-hour time frame. So what we're kind of forming here on the 4 hours is also a potential double bottom for Tesla. Okay, so what this could mean, if we do break above 450, we can see it break out back up to 462 and break above 462 to see a move back up to break above 462 to see a move to 470, break above 470 to head up to all-time highs, which is 488. Okay, so guys, this game plan is super simple. Right now Tesla's at support. We're also approaching the 21 EMA on the daily time frame. So break above 450 for Tesla, we can see an explosive breakout back up to 462, but really above 450, I'm really targeting back to all-time highs at 488. And like I said, if you break below 428, you're losing support. So your next support level is a 21 EMA on the daily time frame, and if you do lose that, then your next support level is 403. Okay, so that one is it for Tesla, and we're gonna move on to Meta. Alright guys, so we did snipe this name. I've mentioned this name so many times, guys, in VC and in trade setups, and you guys get the point, right? So if we look here, guys, price is going to be approaching previous all-time highs, which is here, right? Previous all-time highs, previous highs here, and previous neckline. So look, I don't think this is going to be an easy break, in my opinion, because this is a huge level. But we are seeing some good volume, which is a good sign. But like I said, we are approaching a major level for Meta. So we're going to keep it real simple, right? We're going to keep it real simple. Hold above the 80 EMA, right? Which is a good sign for bulls short term. But if you break back above 736, 740, I do think you could see a potential bottom on Meta. But like I've always said, always be careful with these critical levels, because that could be a potential that could be a potential play for bears if we can't break above 740. So like I've said, just keep in mind we did break out, but we are approaching this major level at 740. Okay, so just be cautious with meta. If anyone's holding meta, be cautious here. But once you break above 740 or even the 21 EMA on the daily time frame, you are looking great, and you can see a breakout back up to 785 or even 795. Okay, so we're gonna get on to the next one, which is Amazon. And just want to make it clear, I'm not looking to the downside for this name. I could care less the downside. I'm buying the dips, so it doesn't matter. Yeah, I'm not gonna go over the downside for that name. Next one is Amazon. Okay, so again, guys, I've mentioned this multiple times. This name on my last TA video. Pay attention. I said we're basing you're above 722. We can see it break out to 228, and below 220 is bearish. You guys got the whole picture with that. But it's the same thing with meta, guys. We're approaching a previous line of resistance. Previous support. So we'll just circle this here because this is going to be a tough level to break, right? So once we break above 228.5 for Amazon, we could continue to see the bull run in the long term, which is head up back up to 235, or even here. Let me mark it down. Yeah, 235, 236 for Amazon. And guys, that's pretty much it. Whoever missed the move above 222, you slightly missed it because you even got that retest, and now you're approaching resistance. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is wait above 228, 229, and potentially get in there so I could ride the wave back up to 236, 238 on the daily time frame. And if we look at the monthly time frame, we did bounce at the monthly 80 EMA, which is a great sign. I've told you guys many times that this 80 EMA could indicate as a buy signal multiple times. Okay, and we're gonna get on to the next one, which is Microsoft. Okay. So guys, if you guys look at my previous trade setups levels, you guys will know that 520 has been a big level for me for Microsoft, right? So again, we see resistance here, and now we're starting to see a perfect retest of that 220 level for Microsoft. So guys, the game plan is still simple. Hold above 520, right, to see a move to back to 532. And that is pretty much it, guys. I'm gonna be real. I could care less about Microsoft below 520. Below 520, I'm out of there, right? But as long as we're above 520, I expect a breakout to 532 or even to 538. And I mentioned this many times, above 538, we could see a breakout to 555 on the daily time frame. But look, guys, this is like the similar setup we're seeing with NVIDIA. You break out and you see that beautiful retest, and look what's happening with strong volume as well. So, we'll look at the same shit right here. Look, I said right here, go back to my video. We break out, we're retesting that previous resistance, 185, and look, we continue to break out, and we're seeing that again with Microsoft here at 520. Okay, so hold 520 to see a breakout to 532. That is a simple game plan, and that is it for Microsoft. All right, guys, for PLTR, there's some people, especially I know my homie Oz, hates PLTR, but this setup does have potential for a potential breakout. So if we look at the daily time frame, we are seeing this resistance here on the daily time frame, which is 185, right? So you're starting to see, let me delete these drawings real quick, sorry. Oops, deleted something that wasn't supposed to delete. All right, so here, look. You're starting to see price consolidate at these highs, but you're starting to see some volume rise, and now we're approaching that 185 level. So for PLTR above 185, I do think you could see an explosive breakout to 191 or to 191 to 189. But I see something on the 1 hour time frame actually. Okay. I'm not going to say this is an inverse head and shoulders, but it kind of is. So if you look here, you have your left shoulder here, you have your fucked up head right here, and you have your right shoulder right here for inverse head and shoulders. So this is what I'm going to be playing for potentially for a 0 date idea for tomorrow. Break above 185, which is this previous neckline. You guys see here. So if you do break above this level 180, I mean, what is this level? My bad. Yeah, 185, 186. You can see a breakout to 191. But we're going to do the technical target right here with you guys, which is the neckline to the bottom of the head and oh my god, the technical target is 200 bucks, guys. And you guys saw it here first. And if you guys know, I'm the king. I'm not going to say I'm the king of inverse head and shoulders, but yo, look at my track record with whenever I say there's inverse head and shoulders, it plays out 80 or even 90% of the time. And we're seeing that happen with PLTR. So like again, I'm now looking to the downside in this name. Above 185, we can see explosive move to 190. And especially if we break above 190, we can see a breakout to 200. Okay, so we're going to move on to AVGO. Again, if you guys look at my previous TA video, I didn't call the bottom because, yeah, you can see we called the bottom. All right, so look. So, okay. Bigger picture. Like I've previously stated, hold above 340, we can see a breakout to 360 or a reversal back up to 360. And guys, this is, again, the same game plan. You're seeing these names break out and retest. And if you look at the 15-minute time frame, you got that perfect retest at 740 today, I think twice. And yeah, guys, this game plan is still very simple. Going to be looking at this name for tomorrow or even next week. Again, so maybe pay attention that this is a resistance level around like 348. So break above 348 to see it resume back up to 360, 359. And that is it for AVGO. Super fast TA, guys. We're not gonna go too long in the setup because it's quite simple. It's just a previous breakout and you retest it with low volume, which is not a bad sign because considering that we did dip today with AVGO. So the next one is Consumer Staples ETF. And guys, remember that Amazon is in the Consumer Staples ETF, right? So guys, I'm not saying this ETF is going to bottom here, but I'm going to show you guys Costco in a bit. But this name is respecting this trend line. So what's going to happen if price does break out of this trend line? I do think we can see a breakout back up to 78.9. Break above 78.9 to see a breakout back up to this gap fill all the way up to 79 bucks. Or even in the best case scenario, you could see a breakout back to test this lower trend line right here for XLP. And yeah, guys, so definitely keep your eyes on Consumer Staples. And we're going to get on to the next name, which is Costco. All right, guys. Again, I call the bottom on this name too. And with strong volume, bro. I'm on fire with this shit on these TV videos. All right. Again, we broke out this falling wedge. You break out. And if you remember my previous video, I did say break above 950 to see a breakout, to see Costco head back up to $1,000, right? So we're going to do that real quick. So guys, the game plan is still very simple. You did break above support, which is 925, and I did mention 935 is also an important level, so I am going to mark that real quick. Give me 1 second. All right. So you guys get the point. Above 935, you can see 952. But again, the real move is going to be above 952 for a breakout to 991. And let me look. Yeah, guys, I do think 952 or 950 is going to be a big level because you're going to be approaching that 21 EMA on the weekly time frame. So be cautious with that. But let me just look at this real quick on the monthly. Where's the 80 EMA? Where you at, dog? The hell? Bruh, my bad. Give me 1 second. I want to see where the hell this 80 EMA is at. Yeah, okay. Yeah, guys. This is going to be a double whammy for Costco. So look, here we're going to I'm going to just say this. Break above 952, 953 to see a breakout to 1,000. Game plan is simple. If you guys missed the boat here at the bottom, then so sad, right? But you have another opportunity above 952. Break above 952 to see 991. And guys, that is pretty much it. Try to go really fast on this one. So have a great day. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.